Before we jump into today's show, I've got a really exciting announcement to make. The autumn cohorts for Start Your Podcast group program are now open. There are 5 dates between September and October, and it's a 6-week program that will get you launched before Christmas. So if podcasting was on your to-do list this year, if you really want to get your podcast up and done by the end of 2023, then come and join me for one of those cohorts and let's make it happen. I have a free masterclass available for you called Understanding the Power of Podcasting. You can go over to donnaeade.com/masterclass, watch the masterclass and get access to that enrollment. I hope to see you in one of the autumn cohorts very soon. That's donnaeade.com/masterclass. Let's get back to the show. You're listening to the Wedding Procast UK, the place to be if you are a UK wedding professional looking to grow and streamline your business. I'm your host, Donna Eade, 10-year wedding photography veteran and CEO at the Society of Professional Wedding Vendors. If you want to grow and streamline your business, this is the podcast for you. Make sure you hit subscribe where you listen or join our email list at www.spwv.co.uk. You'll find the sign up form at the bottom of every episode, and by doing so, you won't miss a thing. So let's jump into today's show. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. Now, if you listened to last week's episode, you will know that this week we are talking about vision boards. And I did sort of think, what would I be talking about in the first couple of episodes of the new year? And it is just typical that this is a time of year where we start to look at what's been before and what we want to change going forward. And vision boards is a really, really great way to do that. So I talked a little bit last week about things that happened over the holidays, things that I wanted to do going forward, and I mentioned my vision board. So what I am going to be doing is walking you through my vision board, which I have with me here. So if you're on YouTube, you'll get the visuals, but I will try and explain it best I can for the guys on the podcast. But one of the things that I actually thought about was the fact that we put vision boards together, some of us, and how we use them. So I wanted to talk to you about making your milestones visible. So you know that I have a book. It is my annual milestone setting book, and you can do this at any time of the year, guys. It has got enough space in it to do 12 months, but your 12 months can start anytime. So you can still get that on Amazon. And it will guide you through the 5 pillars of your business and how to start making those 5 pillars, you know, your long-term goals for the year. And then what we need to do is we need to make that visible. It is all well and good writing these things down in a book and then putting the book away and not looking at it for 12 months and getting to the end of the year and going, why didn't I get to where I want to be? One of the great ways to make sure that they are front and center is by creating a vision board. Now, a vision board needs to be visible. So I created a vision board last January. I don't know whether I've got it to hand. I can't see it anywhere. What I can show you actually is that it is on my phone, which is one of the things that I'm going to talk to you about. So for those of you on YouTube, there it is. And that is where I keep it on my phone. I also have it as the screensaver wallpaper on my PC, and I printed it out on an A4 piece of paper and I stuck it up above my computer because obviously when you've got applications open, you can't see your wallpaper. So I've got it right above my computer screen as well, so I can look at it every day. And I did. And what I want you to do is think about where you can put your vision board so that it is somewhere you can see it multiple times a day. You can make a vision board in a number of ways. A lot of people like to get really crafty and get the Pritt stick out and the magazines and all of that jazz. I personally don't have time for that. it's just not, scrapbooking is not where my joy is. So, I mentioned in an upcoming episode, an interview I did of how creative a person I am. Scrapbooking, not where my creativity lies at all. So it just doesn't bring me joy. And the idea of trying to find specific things in limited places, just not for me. So I used Canva for mine. And on Canva, you can, I'll link it in the show notes. It is a great tool for creating your graphics, and it is a great tool for creating a vision board. In fact, if you type in vision into the search bar at the top of Canva, it will give you some pre-made basics of vision boards. So you could actually use a template to create your vision board. I didn't. I went more for the organic, almost like I'd cut and stuck idea for my vision board. But, you do you, whatever it is that brings your goals into your physical space on a daily basis, you do it. So a vision board is basically images that represent the words and things that you want to achieve. So we're talking about your 2022 goals here. So what should you include on your vision board? Well, I'm going to do an episode all about the word should coming up. So if you haven't yet subscribed to the podcast, then hit the subscribe button where you are listening and make sure that you don't miss it. And if you are on YouTube, hit that notification bell, because you don't find out unless you hit that notification bell. But your vision board is yours. There is no right or wrong way, but here are some tips. No negativity, nothing that says don't, can't, shouldn't. It should all be positive. Use affirmations or quotes, single words that represent the year you're going to have. Find pictures that represent what you want: holidays, car, furniture, success in your business, and make it colourful. Put all your milestones, from a weekend break that you'd like to have to a brand new Range Rover, whatever it is. And these aren't necessarily things that are going to be got within the year, but they are things that you are striving for. So what I want to do is have a little look at my vision board and show you some of the different things on it and talk you through those. But once you are happy, print it out, put it as your screensaver. You can move it around, but just to give you an idea. So I am going to show you mine. It's going to be all backwards for you, but I have in the top corner a picture of me from 2015. This is when I weighed exactly what I want to weigh now, but I don't. So I put it on there as a reminder, because it is me. It is not somebody else that's unattainable that I'm trying to get to. It's me 5 years ago. And now I might not be able to get exactly where I was. I might not look exactly the same if I do get to where I was, but that's where I was comfortable and that's where I want to get to. So that is on my vision board. The other thing is my family. So this is my daughter here. There's a picture of me and my daughter. There's a picture of me and my partner, because I want those relationships to stay close. So they're pictures of us hugging, and I want us to stay close. You'll see the word time if you are on YouTube, but the word time is in big, bold letters on my vision board, because time is my word of the year. And that's because everything takes time. Not everything happens in a second. You have to give things time. And I am very impatient. So time is my word for the year. Last year it was action. This year is time. I also have on here, so this is more personal stuff when it comes to things that I want to do. So I've got a glass of water there because I want to make sure that I'm drinking my water. Along the bottom here is some fruit and veg because I want my eating to be healthy. I've got somebody doing yoga in front of a lake because I love water. It's not necessarily that I want to do yoga by a lake, but I'd like to go and stay by a lake or be by water at some point this year. Haven't been anywhere near water, I think, in 2 years. So it'd be really nice. Water really feeds my soul. And I love to do yoga. So that is on there as well. This central one, last year, this was a car. And I'm going to come back to why I've changed it in a moment. But now it is a garden room. And that is because I really want to build an extension on our home that creates a garden room space where I can have my meditation time, do my exercise, and really utilize that room at Christmas, because I find at Christmas everything gets a bit cramped in our main space. So I would like to be able to decorate, and I can put the tree in there, and it will look beautiful and pretty. I know, because a friend of mine has one of these rooms. And I love her photos of it. So that is a goal for the year. And then down here, I have a little garden bar. That's because I'd like to get our garden finished this year as well. I have something else that was on here last year. This is dance. So I've got a dance class on here because I want to get back to more dance. And I did do some more dance last year, but not as much as I'd like to. So I'd like to get back to more dance. And then up here, I have a lady sitting in front of a laptop with her arms in the air, like, yes, representing success, which is the word that I have underneath it. So I have the word success, be yourself, love, focus, believe, and time. All are words that are on my vision board. So this vision board is my new 2022 vision board. I also have 2 checks on there that are representative of money that I would like to see come into my different streams of revenue. So those are targets there for me to meet as well. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to your vision board is something that my dear friend Claire Prothero brought up in one of our accountability calls the other week. And that was being really mindful of what you're putting on your vision board. So it's all well and good putting these things on here, but what is the why behind it? You know, the reason I took the Range Rover off, I think it was a Range Rover Evoque. That is the car that I would really, really love. But I took it off because I was like, why do I want it? Is it because I see all these entrepreneurs out there with businesses driving fancy cars or talking about having a fancy car, and that's why I want it? Or do I really want that car for me? And if I do, why do I want it? So I thought, while I'm not sure, I don't want it on my vision board. I want to focus on things that I can really know my why around. And as you can see, a lot of this is personal. It's about the life that I'm living. And so now I know that my business is here to help me fund the lifestyle that I want, not to get me things, but to create the atmosphere, to create the surroundings, and to give me the opportunity to do the things that I want to do. And so that is what this vision board is saying to me. So before you put anything on your vision board, this isn't a 5-minute job by any stretch of the imagination. Really think about why you're putting something on there. Is it because somebody else has it? Is it because somebody else says you should have it? Is it because somebody else who is where you want to be talks about having it? Or is it because you really, truly desire it? Because the powerful thing about vision boards is that they can really help you get to that next level, to actually achieve your goals by having it there and reminding yourself on a daily basis. But if those goals aren't actually your own, you're not going to reach them. So one of my checks last year was from a side hustle that I have, and I put it on there. The next thing to do with these goals is the same as in the annual milestones book. It helps you to do this, is to break them down. It's no good putting a goal on your board and then not working out, actually, how am I going to make that happen? So if you want to move house in 2022, there is income that is needed for that, which means that there is work that needs to be done to make that happen. For me, the check that I wanted from my side hustle, I literally took it and I divided it by 12 months. And I said, okay, so this business has got to bring me in this each month. So I was able to track how close I was to that goal. And by the end of the year, I actually surpassed it. So I was really chuffed to be able to tick that off of my list. And this year, I've got a new check for that business with a different amount on it, which is an improvement, an up level from the one that I had before. And again, I've broken it down. I know exactly what I've got to do each month to hit that target. And so it means that I can keep an eye on where I am. And if I fall short one month, I can put more effort in, or, do something different the next month to try and improve on that. So that is my take on vision boards. They are so powerful if you use them in the right way, if the intention behind them is there and your desire is true. So do give it a go, because it is creative. It's a bit of fun. So, I had just as much fun pulling things off Canva, going into the elements and finding different graphics to use on there. So for example, you can't see it necessarily, but I've got a curly arrow here out of the word focus that's pointing to the check. I've got the sunshine with a smiley face on there. I've got a row of hearts along the bottom. So all little different things that I have put on here just to make it fun, make it colourful, make it something that I'm interested in seeing. And even though you're going to see it on a daily basis, it's a subconscious thing as well, just seeing that image. But if you can move it around, so if you have it in your office above your computer like I did, it just became part of the fixtures and fittings after a while. So this year, what I'm going to do differently is I'm actually going to move it around the house. So one day it's going to be on the kitchen cupboard above the kettle, and I'll leave it there for a little bit, and then maybe it goes over by the cooker, and maybe it's going to come back in here, maybe it's going to go on my bathroom mirror. So I'm going to move it around the house so that every time I'm seeing it with a fresh set of eyes, and it's just going to remind me of what I want out of my year. So to sum up, your vision board is something that can really help you get your desires front and center. It is not only about putting things on that you want this year, but everything you want to achieve. So for me, I have this time focused on just this year, the things that I like to get done within this 12 months. But if there is something that is a big goal that you want to reach, like maybe you want to buy a house, or maybe there is a dream holiday that is going to cost way out of your normal vacation budget, maybe you want to put on that on there, because again, you need to break that down into smaller goals, and having it there is going to help you to remember when you're doing things that I'm working towards that goal. So do one for business, do one for personal if you wanted to. I have all of mine on the same vision board at the moment. I might actually look at separating them out down the line, because I feel like my personal well-being is quite an important part of my life now. I'm really taking my self-care and what I'm doing for me personally a lot more seriously these days. So it might actually warrant that personal element to have its own vision board, and then I can open up the space in my business on my business vision board and really sort of hone in on more goals, because there's only so much space on an A4 sheet of paper. Of course, you can do it on a canvas, any size you like in Canva, and fill it up, but you can only sort of print out an A4 piece of paper. Maybe you've got an A3, I don't know. But so make sure that you are putting things on there that are really important to you. Make sure that you know what's behind it, and have fun with it. Have fun with it, dream big, and create a vision for 2022. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with somebody in the industry so that they can get the benefit as well. And consider leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Help me reach more like-minded people like you. And that's it for this week. Bye for now. Don't forget to hit those stars and leave a review of the podcast where you listen if you found value in what you heard today. It's a free way you can help the podcast reach more people just like you.